Everyone wants a high income skill set. Everybody does. But nobody wants to pay to learn one. That is exactly why most people never make any real money online with email copywriting. But we're going to change that. Think about it. People will spend thousands of dollars on a vacation they'll forget 6 months, thousands on a sports car they'll return in less than 6 months because they can't afford it anymore, hundreds every month eating out at fancy restaurants. Where cooking at home tastes much better and it's much more affordable. But the moment someone mentions investing $50, $100, or a few $100s into learning a skill set that could change their income and their entire future, suddenly they become financial experts. You'll hear so many people say, I'll just watch YouTube. I'll learn for free. I don't need a course. No. What they're really saying is, I don't value my future enough to invest in it. And we have a way to change all of that. Before this episode ends, I'm going to explain why people demanding free training almost never become the professionals making 5 figures plus. And why the people willing to invest always pass them by like a speeding bullet train. And how we together can overcome this obstacle. Let's get something straight. Free content isn't bad. In fact, you're watching free content right now. We just happen to do a better job than anyone else out there on the planet simply by just covering the basics. But free content has a purpose. They're designated and designed as content lead magnets, where we introduce the ideas, create awareness, and show the possibilities of what could be. And here's where people completely misunderstand it. Free content is designed to get your attention, not give you complete mastery. So don't plan your future off of someone else's highlighted reel. Because if someone could teach you an entire career, where you at this moment right now can make $5,000 a month or more simply by watching, 1 or 2 15-minute YouTube videos. That means that universities wouldn't exist. Trade schools wouldn't exist. Professional certifications would mean nothing. And every lawyer, accountant, electrician, engineer, and doctor would simply watch YouTube. I don't know about you, but if this guy needs medical surgery for something, I want the best. Not somebody, whoops, don't need that anymore, leaving something out, running a surgery center out of their garage. Now, obviously, that's ridiculous. But learning professional copywriting and digital marketing works exactly the same way. You don't master a high-income profession by collecting random videos from, 50 different creators. You master it through dedicated training systems. Those things almost never exist outside of free content. And in just a few minutes, I'm going to show you why watching hundreds of free videos actually slows down your progress instead of speeding it up. And most people never realize this. And here's exactly what happens. I know, because this guy, I too, fell victim to this learning curve where I was looking at how to use YouTube as a lead magnet, which is something I had to learn. I watched many creators till I finally paid for a course. Eye-opening. That's why I'm telling you this right now. And here's how that happens. You get locked into watching all the different content. All right. Monday is one creator. Tuesday is somebody completely disagrees. Wednesday, another expert tells you to ignore everybody. Thursday, a fourth creator says, nope, everybody's wrong except me. Now you're taking notes from all these different creators. You're buying books that they recommend that won't help. You're saving videos with outdated information, downloading PDFs that don't do anything, and not being guided in the right direction. Now, you could get some basic info from doing that. Trust me, you can. But do you feel productive? Okay. Are you actually learning anything of importance? No, you're collecting options. And that's a huge difference. At least here, with every video we publish inside the Copy Shop, we teach something of value. Professional education isn't about consuming more information. It's about organizing that information to a system that you can actually execute and use. Just like we do inside our professional outreach program, where we help you build your own professional outreach system. Imagine trying to build a house or shed or garage by watching a couple hundred different videos. None of them based on anything of value. The house, the shed, the garage would never be finished. You're going to learn some pretty cool stuff here and there, but it's not the same as completing the project. Yet people try building an entire copywriting business exactly that way, by listening to hundreds instead of learning from one or two paid instructors, or 3 or 4. That's exactly what I did when it came to building a professional business model. I learned from multiple paid instructors. I paid to learn HTML to build websites. I paid for extensive photography lessons with a real digital camera, not one of these high-tech cell phones that people have today. I paid to learn different coding operations and applications so I could build the SoCal Fishing and Fins and Feather online businesses, which I still sell that content every month over and over and over again, which is repurposing. Nobody talks about that. And this might be difficult to hear, but somebody needs to say it. Stop demanding free content. Seriously. A person doesn't walk into the martial arts studio I was teaching at and demanding to be taught for free. Not after I've spent almost 35 years training and teaching. It's not going to happen. You don't ask an attorney, hey, I got an idea. Why don't you represent me for free just to get your office more exposure? So why do you think educators should spend years learning, years making mistakes? And I've made some of those. I got to write a book on those all by themselves. Years of investing thousands of dollars only to give everything away for free. That's not education. That's people thinking they are entitled to get something for nothing. The people who are constantly searching for free courses usually aren't looking for an education. They're looking for a shortcut. The get-rich scheme. Pay me now, I demand it. Or they're looking for permission to delay the commitment that it takes to learn. Now here's where this gets really interesting. The people who refuse to invest in education usually spend far more money than everyone else. I'll prove that in just a minute. Let's say you spend 6 months trying to learn copywriting entirely for free. Not a bad idea. And really coming up with some good info. It sounds pretty smart, right? Logical. Until you realize what this actually cost you. Because during the 6 months of trial and error, mostly error, making mistakes, how many clients could you have been working with? How many opportunities did you miss? How many outreach proposals failed? Because nobody ever corrected your work. And you write like a schmuck. So much of your confidence just disappeared. With most people quitting and thinking, this email copywriting crap don't work. Because you never knew if you were doing it right or not. Remember this from last episode? But you're doing it wrong. People obsess over the price of paying for something they think they should get for free. They almost never calculate the price of staying stuck. How much does this cost you? Because everything has a cost to pay. Your time has a cost. Confusion costs you money. Mistakes, they can cost you big time. Delayed income has a cost. And every opportunity missed, that's a direct cost to my pocketbook. I don't want to do that. Sometimes the cheapest course you ever buy ends up becoming the most profitable investment you've ever made. And we're going to show you how. Now, coming up next, I'm going to explain why clients can often tell within the first 30 seconds or so whether you're self-taught from random information found on the internet or professionally trained. And once you hear this, you'll never look at free training the same way again. There's one characteristic, one mindset that separates professionals from everybody else. Yeah, they got talent. Yeah, they're intelligent, they're super smart, and they got experience. However, they also know you have to be willing to invest in yourself before anyone else pays you. And that's exactly where we're going next. Earlier, I said clients can usually tell within the first 30 seconds or so whether you're relying on random free content that's copy and paste or you invested in professional training. Now, how do they do that? Professionals think differently. They simply don't know more. They understand more. They make decisions differently. When you build your skills from random content, your work often feels disconnected. It doesn't flow, doesn't read, doesn't guide the reader. And every technique comes from a different angle, a different philosophy. Every email sounds like it was written by a different person, not branding, not sticking with who you're writing for. That's mainly because most people simply copy and paste, or they see examples that they see which are normally completely freaking wrong. And clients know this, they see this, they observe it. When they read the content, they feel it sounds the same as everything else. There's no spice. There's no nuance to it. On the other hand, someone who has learned through a complete system develops consistently. Like we do with professional outreach, the consistency there. Their message is clear. It's organized. Inspires confidence, and confidence sells. Businesses don't hire copywriters because they can mass produce or type faster or provide AI, generated content. They hire copywriters because as professionals, we help them reduce the uncertainty. We reduce the uncertainty by removing the risk, because our content is good. If our content's not good, they have the risk that it won't convert. And we remove that by providing professional content. That's what expertise looks like. In a moment, I'm going to show you the question every serious professional asks before investing in their education. And it's completely different from the questions beginners will ask. That single mind shift, it changes careers, it changes directions and options and outlook. Now, here's the proverbial line in the sand. Don't cross this line. Beginners focus on cost all the time. Business owners, they focus on the return. Imagine someone telling you, hey, I have a program that will save you 12 months of trial and error. Okay, well, what's that worth to you? Okay, even if it helps you land one or a couple of clients a little bit faster, all right? What's that worth? What's that worth overall? If it helps you avoid months of sending cold emails that never get answered, seriously, what's that worth? Professional education isn't measured by its price. It's measured by the value it creates during your learning process. That's why successful entrepreneurs rarely ask, oh man, is this expensive? Instead, they ask, will this help my business grow by learning this new skill set? Because better skills create better opportunities. Better opportunities create better income. Better income always pays for the education many times over. But there's another reason free training eventually stops working. And nobody talks about this. There's something the free courses just can't do. They can't tell you why you're wrong. They can't review your copy with instructions to back it up, like we do all the time inside the copy shop. They can't challenge your assumptions. You can watch 1,000 videos on Copywriter for complete beginners, but unless somebody evaluates your thinking concepts of where you're going and how you're looking at this, you could spend years repeating the same mistakes. You're never getting paid. You're never making any real money. Become frustrated and quit. That's why athletes hire coaches. Musicians hire instructors to learn more. Pilots trained with experienced professionals. Doctors complete supervised residencies, right? Every high-performing profession includes some type of accountability. So why should becoming a professional copywriter be any different? Information is available everywhere. Transformation is not. That's the difference between entertaining content and real education. Now we're back to the promise I made at the beginning of this episode. The one investment that separates $50 beginners from professionals commanding premium project fees, $1,200, $1,500 or more. Earlier, I told you it wasn't software or AI or even a fancy laptop. It wasn't another productivity app. The one investment that changes everything and anything, is your standard of entry, right? The moment you decide, I'm no longer treating this like a hobby, everything changes. You stop searching for shortcuts. You start building systems that work. You stop asking for free templates. Oh, where do I get my free templates at? You start learning the psychology behind those templates. You stop collecting random tips and tricks. You start mastering the complete framework of everything that you're working with. And you stop hoping clients will trust you. Because the kind of professionals that are out here, they naturally build that trust. That decision of investment happens long before your first high-paying client ever arrives. So where do you actually learn all of this without spending years piecing it together? That's exactly why we built the Copy Shop, and the reason we offer the buy one, refer one option. The Copy Shop wasn't built for people looking for another motivational video, although we also do that. It was built for people they're finished with guessing. No more guesswork. They're done with it. Inside the Copy Shop, we just don't teach just the email marketing side. We teach how to research, how to use AI to speed up your processes, how to think like a business person, how to understand customer philosophy and their buying habits by using AI, how to write persuasive emails, how to communicate with North American businesses, which no one else does, and how to build systems that work. Most importantly, we teach the why. Because when you understand the why something works, you can apply it to almost any industry. Our goal isn't to help you copy something that somebody else did. They don't copy their success. We want you to build your own, your own success levels. That's why we focus on principles instead of hacks, skill sets instead of trends, right? The strategic creation thing going around. We do that anyway. That's just called being a professional. Long-term growth instead of overnight promises. Do this and make, okay. And now most have heard my story. 385 rejections all in a row, less than 10 months. This was for long-form published content. But what you haven't heard is what happened before all of that. The college courses I swore never to go back to. Well, we're now becoming my foundation. I hired a professional mentor who worked with me for over a year and not only helped me understand the world of publishing, he also taught me the skill of repurposing, which we teach here as well, which I don't think anybody else does. I paid thousands of dollars for business building seminars, live seminars with business mentors like Anthony Robbins, the Dale Carnegie School of Business. I purchased so many business, motivational, accounting, software, educational books. I should open my own used bookstore. I stayed focused on my studies, along with a full-time job, my martial arts training and teaching each and every single day. God, what seemed like years just to learn more. Now all that is paid off. However, I still pay for my continued education. So let me leave you with one question. If you expect clients to invest thousands of dollars in your expertise, pay me now, how come you're not willing to invest in becoming that expert? Professional results require professional standards. That doesn't mean you need to spend a fortune. No, not at all. It means you need to stop believing that success is supposed to be free. Okay? Success is not your entitlement. Success doesn't give in to your demands. I demand it now. It's not a protective legal right. Success has to be earned. And proper education is the one way to make that happen. Free content can introduce you to a profession. It cannot build one for you. If you're serious about becoming a professional copywriter, about learning copywriting, digital marketing, persuasive writing through a complete dedicated system, then take the next step. Check out the Copy Shop using the link in the description box below. Invest in the one asset that can never be taken away from you: your ability to create value. Because when you invest in your education, you're not spending money, you're buying time. You're buying confidence, and you're purchasing experience you didn't have. You're no longer learning stuff the hard way, if learning anything at all. One day, you'll look back and realize, this is the best dang investment I ever made. And it wasn't in some type of software or advertising or fancy equipment. It was in yourself. This is the Copy Shop Podcast, where we teach the skills that businesses actually pay for. If this episode challenged the way you think, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone else who's still waiting for success to be free. Check out this video next about building your own outreach system. Click the Google link drive below for more info on the Buy One, Refer One program, where you can get the entire Copy Shop course for only one small investment. But you have to work for it. And I mean really work for it. I'll see you in the next episode.